Hi there, this is Mark Ross. I'm the producer and director of Curse of the Phantom Shadow, and I'm making this video to help inspire people to pursue their passions during these difficult times. Having a passion project not only enriches our lives, but can bring us joy and an amazing sense of satisfaction. Personal projects alleviate the stress of our daily lives. Most importantly, a passion project can give us a story to tell. In this video is my story. In 1977, my father took me to the movies. And like many kids of my generation, I saw Star Wars for the first time, and my world changed. I knew someday I would make movies. I'd like to show you some photos. These are my room growing up. When other kids littered their walls of posters of Ken Griffey Jr. and Pete Rose, for me it was Luke and Spock. I spent a large part of my childhood making stop-motion animated shorts with my Super 8 movie camera. I imagined a world of epic space battles. I scratched each frame of film by hand to create laser beam effects. When I wasn't animating, I was reading Starlog, Cinefastique, Fangoria, and Famous Monsters of Filmland. And of course, I also read Cinemagic, the magazine for any budding Steven Spielberg, where kids would write in and tell about their own projects. Some guy named Ted Raimi wants to make a horror film, and some guy named Jeffrey Abrams wanted to make his own space movie. I wonder, whatever happened to those guys? My dream was to one day make my own Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and of course, The Goonies. But life took me down a path of software engineering, but my childhood dream has always haunted me. Steven Spielberg once said, "You shouldn't dream your film, you should make it." This film, Curse of the Phantom Shadow, has been my many-year journey to finally making that dream come true. I even put up my personal savings to do so. In college, I met my first unofficial mentor, an indie filmmaker with a flair for visual effects. And after college, a local area television star and college professor acted as another unofficial mentor. When you're on the journey of a passion project, sometimes you get unexpected sources of inspiration. In my case, that came from meeting my childhood heroes, George Barris and Forrest J. Ackerman. Curse of the Phantom Shadow allowed me to create my very own retro-style comic book action film. One of the most satisfying parts of doing a passion project is that you're allowed to ask yourself, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I did this? Or how about if I did that? I've made a world of comic books, pinup girls, hot rods, radio drama, pulp novels, big freaking robots, evil villains, and secret decoder wheels. In short, I took everything that I thought was cool and made a world around it. Having a passion project means that sometimes you can inspire others to join you. I was able to acquire a professional cast from such shows as AMC's Mad Men, Falcon Crest, Dexter, Hannah Montana, and movies such as Flags of Our Fathers and Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. A toy company called Ride Makers gave us one of their cars to use as our hero's car. I even procured some of the visual effects team from Battlestar Galactica, Sin City, and Iron Sky. I have broken every rule of first-time filmmaking in order to create a rich world of vivid characters, props, and vintage settings. I even gambled my house at one point, putting up $1 million bond to rent an antique tow truck for the film's climax. Through hard work and tenacity, I wrapped principal photography. However, I had to embrace new challenges as 80% of the film is blue and green screen. In fact, I had more visual effects shots than the original Star Wars film. In Hollywood, sometimes as many as 20 visual effects artists are allocated to a single shot. As Walt Disney once said, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. And Steve Jobs once said, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. Those two quotes not only embody sound advice, but are what a passion project are all about. There isn't one aspect of this film I haven't been personally involved with. While holding down a full-time job as a software developer, I built a render farm, learned 3D animation, compositing, purchased visual effects software, hired post-production contract staff, and converted my garage into a green screen studio, and doing everything possible on my own to make this film a reality. I've still got a way to go, and each day presents new challenges, often seemingly insurmountable challenges. However, passion, tenacity, imagination, and out-of-the-box thinking are my true allies. J.J. Abrams once talked about mystery boxes. He said they represent hope, infinite possibility, and a sense of potential. A mystery is a catalyst for imagination. I would say that every passion project shares similar potential. There are so many things for me to imagine. As an adult, we sometimes forget about the awe and the mystery that inspired us as kids. I don't just imagine finishing the film, I imagine all the cool other things I might be able to make to go with it. After all, a large part of the fun of Star Wars was the toys, comic books, and games. I want to thank you for coming along my journey and watching how a genuine movie fan used his passion to make a movie just for the pure enjoyment of it.